Hello, everyone. This is Musa with Mo Futbol. Today we have a brand new episode of Football TV, and this time around we have the pleasure to have a Ghanaian soccer academy here to talk about their great initiative and process. So, Dr. MacArthur, how are you guys doing today?
We are doing awesome. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I see the whole background, so it looks like we have a full team here.
Yeah, yeah. They've been pumped up for some time now, waiting to talk to you.
Excellent, perfect. So yeah, so I think we just had a quick introduction with your brother that we spoke on I believe LinkedIn, and we had a great conversation. And so what we're trying to do now on this podcast is to kind of bring up more of the African soccer experience to the U.S. Market. And we saw that you have a very extensive experience, and now that you're taking your skills knowledge to help the motherland and back to Ghana. So could you tell us a little bit more about yourself first? You know, how you started and led into the academy.
All right. So my name is Dr. Holbrook McArthur. I was born and raised in Ghana, and I had the opportunity to be in the U.S. At an early age. Um, I played football all my life, and so the passion has always been there. Growing up, and it was not just about football; it's about general sports.
Yep.
I had followed sports for so long, and growing up, we had lots and lots of talent. And when I look back today, they are nowhere. And I keep asking myself, what happened to these people? I was in the military for 15 years as a corpsman in the Navy, was deployed with the Marines on several occasions. When I got out, I decided to go get my PhD in sports management and medicine. And so that's what got me started. And the reason why I chose that was I had often wondered, like I said before, with the talents that we've had or we have in Africa, yet when, for instance, when you look at the Olympic table,
Mhm.
if you take the entire African countries, which is 54 countries in all, and put them together, and you compare them to, let's say, Russia or China or America, the medals is nowhere, and these are just one country. So it kind of bothered me for some time, and so that's what I did my thesis work on. And I came to realize that there's so much that is lacking. Not that we don't have the talent; we have the talent to compete above and beyond. However, when you come to infrastructure, we have nothing going for us. When you come to coaching and mentorship, there is nothing going for us. When you come to leadership, nothing. And so, what people have been doing for so long was that if somebody is kind enough to pick up a talent and it kind of monitors them for a little bit and has some money to move him out of the country to a different country, then that person can perform. And most of the time, these people end up naturalizing for the country where they are and they start performing for them. Now, let's take, for instance, in France, the team that won the 98 World Cup, how many percentage of that France team were Africans? About 90% of them. You
All
understand?
right. Yes.
Imagine all these people are playing in a natural land. They have the level playing field and doing all that. And so that's kind of what motivated me to come down here and set up an academy. Initially, I wanted to build an Olympic college here. But when I look at the financial that is going to be involved in that, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that. So I said, let me start with a football academy. And peradventure, when time goes on, I can add other sports to it. And so we want to build it as a school, not just an academy, where we can also provide them with skill set so that in case, we know in sports, you're just one injury away from retirement. So if something like that happens, then there's something that they can fall back on. That's why we have these guys behind me, pumped up and doing the best they can. To, yeah.
Excellent. So yes, and I think you touched on the France part because I was also born and raised in France, so I know very much, the structure of how the soccer players or football players are, you know, I guess we'll say train and move into the French academy. And I think one thing that definitely intrigued me about your academy was that, always coming back to Africa, it kind of helped build those academies. So I'm Senegalese, so I see a lot of my counterparts now that I grew up in playing soccer with in France, going back to Senegal in building academies. So and I do see there's a transition also with a lot of the players now of African descent going back to their respective countries to help build those academies. So could you tell us a little bit more, Gab, on what differentiates, yours? Because I spoke with your brother how you guys also think more of the educational part and the farming part aspect as well. We all know that, like you said, we're one injury away, or sometime, soccer or football can lead you to other path other than being on the pitch. You can be sporting directors or others, or work IT like myself and your brother. So, could you tell us a little bit more of how Kenya is structured as an academy that add education, but also farming and etc.
Okay, so it's for us, it's more about life skill and it's more about survival. So, for instance, when COVID hit in 2020, people were restricted to go to places. So imagine you have a little backyard farm, in your house. You can fall back on something like that. So those are some of the skills that we want the boys to learn growing up. There are others who are interested in like painting. So we have about two of our players who are very good painters. And currently we are building our hostel, and they are the ones doing the painting work in them. There are others who are interested in mason work, so building and construction, that we try to involve them in the building of the site work. We have others who are interested in welding and all that. However, since we don't have the infrastructure right now, we have to take them off to people who are already practicing that to go and learn off on that from time to time, which most of the time is not conducive because we train early in the morning and then later in the evening. So we train twice a day. And so the in between is when they have the time to go do these things, and sometimes not conducive. Um, I've kind of traveled around the Western world and the Europe and visited so many academies. Recently, I worked with Villarreal under Coach Unai Emery, who's now in Aston Villa, and so I kind of like studied all these academies to see what are the differences, among them. And I realized that even with those top tier teams that have those academies going, they still don't have an educational structure just for them. For them, what they do is that they send them to schools close by, and then after school they come to the academy to perform. However, ours is kind of different because we want to build the entire school in it, so that you are in the school and you are participating in the academy as well. We also going to plan on having our own health facility. We're going to have a gym facility. We're going to have a pool for recovery and all that. So that is kind of why ours is different. Now, when it comes to the education, we're not going to be bombarding them with all these different kind of subjects. We're only going to teach them English, math, science, which is the basic core, and then we're going to teach them finance and nutrition, because we know as sportsmen we need to take care of our body to be able to prolong our life. So that's why we're teaching these 5 subjects. And then the financial aspect is that you and I are aware that most people have performed in the highest level, and then once they retire, they have nothing. And
Yes.
because one, they probably didn't understand their contract before they signed it. So as they are playing, other people are enjoying their finances. And two, those that do end up having some money don't know how to manage it. And so they waste it on maybe fancy cars and whatever, and they lose all of those. And before you realize, they're back in square one. So that's why we want to incorporate them in our curriculum so that they understand that, listen, you might be getting money, but when you get the money, what are you going to do with it? In case there's an injury, in case you decide, I don't want to play anymore, what can you do? So these are little things that kind of differentiate us from the other academies. Now, the other aspect is that we involve them in large scale farming. Today, we just went to harvest our corn that we planted last year. And we had a good lump sum that we're going to prepare, and then we can use it to feed ourselves going forward. We also have an aqua farm where we have catfish that we're raising. And so we try to do little bits and pieces. However, when it comes to finances, it kind of hinders us a lot. Um, and we are also currently working on getting our own field. Now, I'll give you one hint. In Ghana here, the two biggest teams and the two historical team here in Ghana is Kotoko and Hearts of Oak. I'm sure you probably are aware of those.
Yes.
None of them have their own fields. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
None of these big teams have their own fields. And we are we plan to have about 3 fields. For now, we're going to do the first one, and later on, when we get investors coming in, we can actually start building. When I was in Villarreal, Villarreal is a small club, but they have 15 fields. So it kind of gives you the perspective of what they really want to do going forward. And here, like I said from the beginning, infrastructures, leadership, mentorship, nothing is there. So that's what we are trying to do to distinguish ourselves to help these boys moving forward.
Yep. Excellent. So yeah. So and I think that's one speaking with your brother. That's one of those things that um, kind of intrigued me a little bit more of knowing about you guys, knowing that so I've seen quite a few academies going around. So it's always good to know that you're not only producing athletes, but you're also producing productive citizens in those respective countries. So that's always a nice thing to have. So when it comes to investors or how people can help, with your system, I do know that there's sponsorship of certain players. So how for those of us or the Western world or even Africa that we talk to, how can ourselves help a little bit more to not only help one maybe Ghana but also Senegal and all those other places that were kind of give back to what we've enjoyed when it comes to football and things because fortunately I was not able to play as long as I wanted to, but football, and I had the nice system to where education was then the other route, and that kind of helped me build kind of the network to kind of help um, when needed be, which is now the time where we're now speaking together on the next step.
Yeah, so we currently have some of our boys who have just finished senior high school,
Okay.
and they are very gifted. And so we will be happy if we can get people to sponsor them to go play in the States so that we can gain some scholarship for them. And the others, we also work along to see if there are other clubs who want to see what they are doing to see if they can we can showcase them in their late peradventure they can have opportunities for them to play and hone their skills elsewhere. The reason why I will have focused more in Ghana with the Premiership is that it's our Ghana Premiership is not working. I mean, the infrastructures, the nothing works here. So our the football in this country has actually gone lower. And so since I came, almost every now and then when we go and play tournaments and games, I have teams coming to request some of the players because of the way we are grooming them and the discipline we are putting in them. And I keep telling them, no, my players are not for here because I know once they get there, they get it corrupt and they get it spoiled because they're not going to take good care of them. So if we can get clubs in the state from the MLS to kind of look at some of the players and give them opportunity to come and have a tryout, it will work. And also the universities out there who want to take some of the players on, to also play for the colleges and universities, that would be a good help to us. And the other way is that we always open for investors to come and join. You know, when we come, we sit down with you and we show you what we're trying to build, and whatever piques your interest, you can say, okay, I can support here or I can support there. We don't really kind of like put things out there. We Most of the things that we want to do are some on the website, but then when we sit down, we have proposals that we can send it out. Like currently, we need a bus, a team bus to take them to tournament. If we see how we travel for our games, I have a pickup, and so most of the time I put some of them in the pickup, and I also brought a trailer that I was using back in the States, and I hook it up on the back of the pickup, and we load most of them in there, and we convey them back and forth. And it can be dangerous, but I mean, we try to be as careful as we are. So we have different kind of proposals that when we get the people and we put it on to them and they like it, they can come and help support us as we go forward.
Excellent. So yeah, I think that's one of those main things that always trying to find different pathways to support. So I think you mentioned some of the players that either graduated and so forth. So outside of just the world of football, so is there any other interest that they have? Is there a certain players that they kind of look up to these days? And
Yeah, I actually have one here. I will let him do the talking for himself. Oscar, tell them your name.
yeah, go ahead.
Um, I'm Robert Itwa.
Yeah, yeah. Could you speak it just a little bit louder then?
Robert Itwa.
Okay, yes. How are you?
I'm good and you.
Hey, I woke up this morning, so I'm blessed. No complaints.
Okay, thank you.
So yes, so could you tell us a little bit more about what position you play, and if there's a certain player that you look up to, and also outside of football, is there anything else that you enjoy doing?
Okay, so I'm a right back, and Arnold is my role model. Yeah, and when I don't play football, I try to do something with IT.
Oh, nice. So IT is definitely my alley. So I'm an IT project manager. So I've been doing that for almost 25 years. So um, after football, IT is a very good route to go. So you play right back. So is there a certain reason why you're playing right back? Is there something you like about playing that position?
Growing up, I was looking at Arnold, how he plays. So I decided to. I was a midfielder, but looking at how Arnold plays, I decided to switch to a right back.
Any soccer team, professional football team that you support?
Yeah, yeah.
Which one?
Manchester United.
Oh, I won't hold that against you, but uh, so yes, so if you were to, is there anything that you would like the world to know about you and your aspirations?
Yeah, I want to further my education at an university outside. So yeah,
So for your goals, any league that if you had the choice to go to and play, would it be EPL or somewhere else
friends. Yeah,
in France?
yeah.
Oh, and any special part of France?
Um, Paris.
Paris. All right. So I guess he answered all the right questions because I'm born and raised in Paris too. So I lived 15 minutes away from Parc des Princes. So I watched PhD growing up. So all the right answers except Manchester United. Excellent. Anyone else courageous enough to come on the microphone and
Yeah, wisdom. Come on.
don't be shy, dude. All right, so could you kindly let us know who you are, position?
Please, I'm with Zamafo. I'm center back.
Okay, so we have the right back and center back. All right. Favorite soccer team?
Yeah, I support Barcelona.
All right. Good. So I don't support any La Liga team, so I guess we're good on that part. So anything outside of football that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, uh, I like to I kind of like more about football. So I like to study sport management, something about sports in the universities.
Nice. So sport management as of the the business side of it, or more of the physical training, etc.
Yeah, the physical.
The physical. All right.
Yeah.
So if so anything that you would like to tell the world about yourself outside of football and sport management?
Yeah. Outside of football, I want to be a sport. I want to study sport management. So aside of football, I can be either a coach or a that thing. Yeah.
So if we were to remove sports in general, anything else that interests you outside of sports?
Yeah. It, the IT.
Okay.
I'm interested in the IT and then yeah.
All right. So IT and so that's a good choice. So anything else you would like us to know? Like any place that you would like to play if you had a choice?
Of course, I would like to play somewhere uh, MLS.
Wow, good. Wow, okay, that's the right answer. Any specific teams or city?
Chicago. Yeah.
You have to say St. Louis
What?
because yes, my the team I supported MLS is St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Chicago is our rivals. Excellent. So yeah, so anyone else that would like to jump in? Yeah.
Good evening. I'm Okunime Gabriel, alias
Okay.
alias Pugba.
Pogba. Oh, well, all right. So that was my old neighbor. So great answer. Yeah. So anything that you would like to do outside of football, study wise?
Like outside of football, I want to study marketing and advertising. I want to be a marketing manager.
Marketing manager. Awesome.
Uh,
Um, any teams that you would like to play for in the future if you had the choice to, and where?
Napoli.
Napoli. All right. Nice. Is there a certain reason why Napoli?
Like my favorite player is senior. That's why I want to play Napoli.
Nice. Let's see. Yeah. So outside of football, if you were to ask, what do you like to do outside of that? What would that be?
Like I want to be marketing manager.
So if we were to remove football and marketing, what else would you enjoy doing?
Business. Yeah.
Business.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Any so you want to play Napoli? So and what position do you play again?
Defensive midfielder.
Defensive midfielders, and you have so Pogba is not a defensive midfielder. So is there a certain player that you would like to play like?
Like Pogba or Valverde.
Perfect. Okay, that works. All right. So yeah. So anything else you would like us to know about you?
Uh, I support Manchester United.
All right, Doctor, we might have to talk about these players all picking Manchester United. So is there so now that we have two players that have asked for Manchester United, is there anyone that support anyone else, or is this we're all training Manchester United players over there?
No, no, we've got variety, different varieties. Come on.
No, no one has answered the right question. The right. No one has picked the right team just yet,
Yeah, no one hasn't yet.
and I won't tell you which one. But hey, how are you? So tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and position you play.
Um, my name is Salia. Sebi. I play a left back position.
Okay. Nice. So all defenders. Usually defenders are quiet, so I'm quite surprised. Most of you guys that show on the camera are defenders. So could you tell us, which team you support and
Okay, my favorite team is Barcelona, FC Barcelona.
okay.
Yeah,
So we
FC
have
Barcelona.
Manchester United and Barcelona. Okay.
And
And outside of
and
football,
uh, I'm an electrical engineer.
okay.
I want to be an electrical engineer.
Nice. So outside of football and electrical engineer, is there anything else you like to?
Aside the electrical engineer, I would like to be a truck driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why? Do you like to travel, or is it, or just
Yeah,
have the engine on driving
I like to be on the road.
the road? Excellent. So if you had the choice to play on any league, which one and which team?
Mm, I would say I would like to play in the Netherlands division.
Okay.
Yeah. And let me say I would like to play for PSV or
PSV.
Ajax Amsterdam. Yeah.
Nice. Good choice. Good choice. I think you're the very first that I've asked for a very long time that mentioned the Netherlands. So that's always good to know the variety of the leagues that you want to play. So is there a reason why you would have picked the Netherlands? Is it the style of play or anything?
I like their style of play.
Okay.
Like they used to play an academy football.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I like to play in their league.
Nice. All right. So I'm now starting to understand why you guys kind of like Barcelona because it has more of the career style play, the Netherlands tactics. So now I'm starting to understand a little bit more of how you guys defenders are playing. That's great to know. Anything else you would like to for us to know about you?
Please come again.
So is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Um, I'll leave that to my coach. He will say everything to you.
Nice. All right. Looks that works that way. So
Okay.
yes, and I think one thing I wanted to. I'm sorry. All right. So let's see. Let's hear it now. So tell us a little bit who you are, what position you play.
My name is Nicholas Davis. I am attacking midfielder.
Attacking midfielders. All right. So we're moving up. We're moving up. So outside of football, is what else would you like to do or would like to
Outside
pursue?
outside of football, I want to be a welder.
Okay. And outside of that, is there a third
Like
thing?
I also like in graphic design.
Graphic designer. Nice. So you're the artist that Coach was speaking of.
Is that? Please come again.
So are you one of the artists that Coach was referring to?
Yes, please.
You are. All right. So if you had a choice to play for in a league and a football team, who would that be and where?
Please, I would like to play in Liverpool because I support Liverpool, and I want to play in their junior academy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Liverpool is still not the right answer, but we'll leave that at that.
He said,
I think Liverpool is still not the right answer, but we're okay with that.
okay, okay.
Any favorite soccer player?
And it's like McAllister.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
McAllister.
McAllister? Okay, so Argentinian. Um,
Yeah.
so why would you say that he's like your favorite player?
He's like he's hard and his confidence with ball and he likes talking and he likes possessing ball like he's good and I love him. That's why.
Excellent. So we have a French Argentinian. So that's awesome. So yeah. So coach, anyone else? Is there an attacking forward that would like to let us know? So it looks like we have the defenders, midfielder. Any strikers? All right.
Like
Hi. So tell us a little bit about
Alfred,
yourself. You,
this is it. Tell us about yourself. Okay. I'm Alfred Kwesi, and I'm an attacker.
attacker. All right. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. So outside of football, what would you like to pursue?
I would like to be an engineer,
Okay. What kind of engineer?
mechanic.
Mechanic engineer. All right. So I'm still working on cars or
Yeah,
okay.
sometimes you take us to shop to purchase one. So
Excellent. So if you had a choice on a soccer football league and team to play for, who would that be?
I like to play for chess.
All right. So perfect answer. And so I guess he's like my favorite soccer player in the Gideon Academy now. Yes. So I guess so. Who is your favorite player?
Paulo Dybala.
Okay, all right. So I was hoping for Chelsea player, but we'll we'll work on that. But um, so outside of this those two things, is there anything else you would like the world to know about you?
Please can you come again?
Is there anything else you would like the world to know about you?
Like nah, I have a lot, but for now, man.
Hey, you can be. You don't have to be a little shy, right? This. It's practice for the rest.
Please, he said.
So it's say not to be shy. Go ahead and just let the world know. A little bit about you.
Sometimes. For now, we are having some small problem with our boots, and we would like to get some help from outside. For now, that's what I say.
All right, so perfect. That works. So yes. So and I think probably So if I could have Coach back on, that'll be great. It was nice meeting you all. So it looks like he's wearing Manchester United though jersey.
But he's not a United fan. I asked him why he wore it. He said because yesterday Harry Maguire scored a last minute goal. That's why he's just using that to honor him. Right? He's just a clown. Don't keep him.
Well, it's good to see Maguire at least do something positive because it has not been the best year for him. Excellent. So yeah, and I think a little bit about myself as well is that so not only do I hold these type of podcasts, but I also do work a lot with our St. Louis soccer team here, the professional team in MLS, and also with this local teams as well during our region and state. So one thing we started to do is kind of wanted to promote not only American football, but also European and African football. And the World Cup is coming very soon as well. So it's kind of helped to educate a lot more of the American public on, you know, the not only the African countries that they should know about is not just, Senegal, Nigeria, you know, that there's a lot more happening than just those bigger names. And funny enough is in our team here, we have Josh Yarrow. I don't know if you know him. He played with the Right to Dream Academy. So, and I also told him about who I was speaking with now. So that's why he's messaging me to know, when the recording will be released, because he's definitely interested on that. And he's building a school also. I forgot the address, but I'll send that to you as well. So maybe when he goes back, I believe at the end of each season, he goes back to Ghana. I'll definitely see if we can work something out, because that's how it starts, right? You want to have more of the players down to kind of help back. And also, I believe your brother also mentioned that there's other initiative that you guys are running to kind of help with your academy. Is there anything else you would like to share with us? Any future project we should know?
Yeah, so I had wished that we had like a screen presentation so that we could have shared some of those. Currently, we are working on our first poster, which is almost done. And on top of the hostel, we're going to have a classroom where we can sit, analyze, watch back our games, analyze it, and move forward. We also have about 5 rooms that we're going to make it available for coaches that we bring from all over the world to kind of see the kids, and an office. And then the most important aspect of the facility we're working now is the field. So currently we have a 20 acres that we want to build the school facility, but that's not what we're talking about now. We're talking about the excuse me, the first phase. And the first phase, we just gotten to where we need to do the fields. We filled the first part of the field, but we have to do a second layer. When I was in the States last year, I purchased the sprinkler systems that we're going to lay it in the on the field so that we can have green field year round, whether there's rains or not. And so we would need help, with helping us, because sometimes we have to go for like a bulldozer or a grader to kind of level things up, and those can be very expensive. They charge per hourly, and so when I was moving back from the States, I cashed out my 401k and everything, and so everything that we've done so far has all been me and my brother supporting every now and then. See, so you can understand where I am coming from. This is all that I've got, and this I'm going to make sure I do it and do it well, so that there's not going to be anything haphazardly being done. I want to make sure it's being done world class and is competing with the world class. So we will be grateful if we have people come in and say, okay, we're going to support you with this to get your field ready, or we're going to take one part of your field and build it for you. So the other 2 fields that we have is going to be artificial turf. So if somebody will want to, come help us with one or whatever, we'll be grateful. But as I was saying, currently we need a bus, and the place that we are building for them right now, we need a lighting system, and so it's something we are struggling with because there are not enough electric poles that goes there. So we plan on putting solar panels on there, and solar panels are expensive. So there's a whole lot, but like I said, I can't kind of mention it all, as most of them are in a proposal basis. So if you find somebody, we can just give you a proposal and say, listen, this is what we want to do, this one to do, and then what you feel that you can do to help will always be appreciated. We don't reject anything. We also sometimes need balls. Sometimes we need jerseys, you know, and anything. So if there are clubs out there that have jerseys that they feel like they can't use it anymore, we'll be grateful if they can hand it over as well.
And yes, and I think that's always the call out because we do know that I think even in the Western world, they know that running a club it's difficult. So running an academy is probably 10 times worse. And you're pretty much what we call in the US that you're all in. So that's definitely one thing that we always appreciate. And people moving forward to do these type of things definitely need when needed. So just to close out for this great interview, and looks like I still see Manchester United, so we'll give them a pass on that. But
We have one of our coaches here.
yes,
He's understanding, so I would like him to say a few words. He's also an accountant by profession.
all right. So it looks like we have coach and accountant. So that's um, I guess usually it's not the same combination. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself and how is it to to coach these great men behind you?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Richard Akon. As my boss area said, I'm the assistant coach and I'm an accountant by profession. I joined Ghanaadom Food Academy because it's an academy with a profession. Ideally, I wanted to play football, but I was blending it with education. So, and when you come to Africa, during our time, we were not having those opportunities to, get an agent or manager to push you up. So, I focused on very much on education. As I sit here, I'm done with my Master of Commerce in Accounting. I did it in India and I want to charter. But as I sit here, I'm pushing it to have my PhD in Accounting and Finance.
Nice. Oh, so it looks like that put maybe a little bit of pressure on these guys behind to know that they have coaches with PhDs. So nothing less than that, right?
Not that specifically, but say football is in my blood. At
Yes.
first, I used to play with my boss, my head coach. We used to play together, and he knows how I play. So as I didn't get the opportunity to play in a professional league outside, it is my biggest dream to push the younger ones coming up to get opportunity to play outside.
Thank you. Oh, well, I always tell people that most of the best players have never played in the top leagues in the world.
Very
So,
well, very well.
yes. And a lot of them are actually coaching now those players that are the best in the world. So sometimes it takes, the struggle or the misfortune of some to allow others to strive. So, and I think coaches don't get enough credits when it comes to
Yeah.
those people. So it's definitely appreciated, especially when knowing that you have an outside work and also still providing. So how it's like to coach these young men, those that are still hungry to reach those level. How does that, works for you, and how does that fulfill?
Yeah, it's I would say it's a great honor to coach such people. At times, it's a bit difficult, but as the thing is in my blood, we are trying a bit harder to push them. Uh, it is not easy to coach people like this because coaching younger, infant is a bit easy, but for them they are a bit grown up. But I think we are still doing it. We are still doing it.
Excellent. So yeah, so if someone were to ask, how is it to coach within this academy, how would you tell someone of this, how great this academy is, and so forth?
I would say it's a good thing to do, having great people like this, by inculcating in them what we're not able to achieve, and to add up is with our boys, they are good to. I mean, it's a bit easy. It's a bit easy when it comes to coaching such a people.
Uh, So I guess they're good enough that you just have to give them a little spec. So just asking what like we asked for these other guys behind. So which team do you support? And a player that you watched growing up that kind of put you that path of wanting to be a
At
pro?
first, I used to. Sorry,
Oh, go ahead. I think we just lost connection for a second.
I didn't get the latter part of your question.
So which team that you supported and a player that kind of helped you wanted to be a pro?
Oh, at first I used to support Barcelona, and my favorite player is Messi because of how he plays. I mean, he doesn't get injured often. How he release passes, how he moves, how he dash for balls. That makes me like him. And when it comes to Barcelona, how they play, even when they are down by 5 goals, they will not rise. They will still keep their composure, keep their normal play their normal games. So that makes me like them.
So is this like so coach always say that you're kind of trying to format your academy towards Barcelona like playing, or because I'm starting to get a little bit of you know Barcelona vibe.
Yeah, I may say that's what we are inculcating in them.
Okay,
We are not emulating them totally, but we
right.
keep our composure. We will tell them play your normal game, no matter you don't have to play according to the opponent system. Keep your composure, play your normal game, then off you go.
So I guess so. One last question, sport related. So you all mentioned Barcelona. So for this current team, knowing that there is the like of Lamine Yamal and all that playing, um, how is that? Is there anyone in this academy that kind of look at to him or anyone within this Barcelona team?
Yeah, we have players who can equally play like Yami Yama, but I guess that they've not gotten the opportunity. I have one young guy here, he's so talented, even more than Yami Yama. Just that he's not out there. But we are playing that one day he get out, then they will see that we Ghanaians we have Yami Yama, then off we go.
It's only the exposure, right? It's he was in the right system to be able to do it. So
Yeah, always about exposure. Always about
yes,
exposure.
yes.
If we are able to get that exposure, they will see that we also have those qualities, even more than them. Just that we've not gotten the exposure to showcase our talent out there.
Okay. Excellent. So I guess the sticky question, just to close out everything. So we know the Ghana national team is not doing so well um, in international and African football. Um, so how do you guys feel about that part of?
I've been telling my boss every day, just that we don't do the proper selection that they have to do. And I mean, the technical team and the coaching system too is bad. The way they select, players and all other stuff. So they get a long way to go. I'll not say we get a long way. I'll say they get a long way to go because I'm not part of their management policy. Yeah.
Also, there's no grassroots football in Ghana.
Mhm.
Grassroots football is dead. That's why we are trying to build academy systems. Now, when you compare the Ghana national teams in the early 80s and 90s, they were superb because we had solid grassroots football. At the time, they called it codes.
Okay.
Now, if you go to the southern part of Africa, the Lesothos, the Rwandas, now they know that in order for their national teams to be solid, they had to work on the grassroots.
Yep.
And that when I was in the US, that's what I was doing. I was working with a whole lot of grassroots football. I coached in Oklahoma, I coached in Arizona, I did coaching in Maryland and all those places. You could see that the academy systems are solid. And because of that, it kind of helped with our female national teams to go win the World Cup and all that. So when you take the foundation, which is the grassroots football, if you take it out of your system, one, you don't only crumble, you just scatter. And two, their Premier League is horrible because, like I said, they don't even have stadiums to play. So they always have to rely on national stadiums. And if there's a natural disaster or something, then they scramble. Because I don't know if you heard recently, they were supposed to play an African qualifying game, and the CAF came to inspect the field.
Right.
CAF came to inspect the field, and it wasn't good. So they said they can't play it here. They have to take it to another country to play. So it doesn't speak well of a nation like that. So those are the things that is kind of bringing us down. But hopefully we'll get some people to come put heads together in what we're doing, and we can push it along.
Oh yes, and I think, and you definitely kind of pointed out that I think all of the countries that are now doing well in Africa in general have the grassroots on and the academies. That's why I guess Senegal, Morocco, and all that
Especially
are.
Senegal, yeah.
Yes.
And kudos to Sadio Mane for the
Yes.
amazing work that he's doing back home in Senegal. I mean,
Oh yes.
so much respect for that guy.
Yes. So hopefully, so the plan is for me to be in Senegal next summer, inshallah.
Okay.
So that won't be one of the academies that I'll be visiting as well, because he grew up in the same Gigan Shore as my dad. So we'll be going to that island. So it'll be interesting to see how grassroots soccer is there. So just to close out, I think we've had a great conversation and great young men in the background as well. So any final words that you would like not only people in the US like myself, but across the world to know about your academy, just to close out?
Yeah, this is Ghanaadom to Football Academy to the world. Like I said, we have people who are combining soccer with education that are very good, but because of finances, they are still stuck here. So if there are people out there who will be able to help them to kind of pursue their education in the United States and play football at the same time, we'll be happy, and we'll, to help others who have not even come to the academy at all. There are others still there in the villages that are lacking, that we want to bring them over. But until we push some of these along to refill them in, we can't do it all. So anyone who has a helping hand to offer, will be very grateful to accept it.
Excellent. All right. So everyone, thank you all for listening to Mo Futbol TV. What I'll do is after that, I will be catching up with Doctor to get more of the information. I will share that on our social platforms, and I look forward to speaking to you all again and see where you guys land in the new green field.
Thank you very much, Musa. We really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. Thank you all.
Sebi.